Will the cancellation of the biggest event in advertising increase or decrease creative output? What are the upsides in the world as a result of our pause on life? Are long-tail strategists more or less essential now? We'll discuss those topics and more on the audio show at the intersection of marketing, media, tech, and popular culture. We call it Disruptive FM. Roll the title.
It's Disruptive FM. Disruptive FM. Disruptive FM. Welcome to Disruptive FM, where business and culture collide. Sponsored by Microsoft and Branding Strategy Insider. With your host, Jeffrey Colon.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us for another episode of Disruptive FM, number 65. I'm Jeffrey Colon, head of brand studio for Microsoft Advertising, coming to you from our home studio in Seattle. Coming up, 3 fresh trending topics for you to ponder, and we'll be joined by special guest Adam Pierno, author of the book Specific and host of the Strategy Inside Everything podcast. Adam will speak to us about long-term strategy, which is now more important than ever. We're slowly starting to look forward, so let's get to it.
Here are this week's trending topics. No can do.
Hall & Oates sang a tune from the 80s that went like this.
Well, I can't go for that, no can do.
Well, that song is the theme song for 2020 as the International Festival of Creativity, also known as the Cannes Lions, has canceled this year's event. That's right, Cannes has been canned. So what does this loss mean for the advertising industry? Will agencies, hindered by so much as of late, have to actually reinvent themselves? If so, how? Trying to win an award this year won't matter. Everybody gets a participation trophy just for staying in business. And trying to tee something up for 2021, when the event is scheduled to return, is probably so far off the radar that creative folks will do what creative folks do best in a downturn. Create. And create in non-traditional formats using technology in unique and interesting ways. So while we say no go to Cannes this year, in its wake, the spirit of creativity may unleash itself with the ferocity of, well, a lion.
Trending topics on DFM. Shelter free.
Here's the scene. You've been quarantined like us for the past couple of weeks. Maybe climbing the walls along with your family. Possibly out of work, anxious, and likely fixated on the news, which is almost uniformly bad. If it bleeds, it leads, as they say. But not everything is dark during these weird times. Take, for instance, this story. During this apocalypse, with fear at an all-time high and self-preservation top of mind, so many people went out to adopt dogs that shelters in some cities don't have any animals left. Think about that. Amid an avalanche of bad news, suddenly isolated people rush out to care for animals, easing a burden on shelters and providing homes, even if just temporarily, for abandoned dogs, cats, and other pets. Shelters from California to New York have put out the call for people to temporarily foster pets. Thanks to an overwhelming response from people who suddenly found themselves stuck at home, shelters say they have placed record numbers of dogs, cats, and other animals. If past trends hold, many of those who agree to temporarily care for a pet will ultimately decide they want the animal to stay for good. Some shelters have a waiting list now of 2,000 people wanting to foster. And it makes sense. With 72% of people saying they would not attend a large public event until there's a vaccine, having a pet at home provides comfort and companionship. Just no tigers, okay?
Trending topics on DFM. The long game.
We don't need long-term strategy. We need to know how we're going to get out of this jam right now. I don't have the bandwidth to think about strategy. I'm in operational quicksand right now. That's what we've been hearing a lot of lately. But slowly, business leaders are starting to anticipate post-COVID strategies for their companies. They don't want to be caught flat-footed again in case of another emergency. They're finally thinking, what's the long-term vision for our business? And that brings us to our special guest. Adam Pierno is author of the book Specific and host of the podcast The Strategy Inside Everything. What brands can do when they may not be able to sell anything right now. Adam joined us on Microsoft Teams recently to talk about this. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, it's funny that you said, quarter to quarter and week to week, because there's some e-com businesses that are looking minute to minute or, second to second almost, as they're really trying to capitalize on those customers and those visits to websites or to other experiences that you're trying to monetize. And as with many strategy questions, I think the answer is it depends a little bit. What are we trying to do in the next few quarters depends on the position that we were in at the start of all this. If you're in a tough position, so if there's a business that is low on reserves, low on cash, low on capital, and maybe facing a scarier outlook, I think the next few quarters are about finding ways to prove value and prove out that in the long term you're going to be okay. So it's more than just survival mode, but it is more about being thoughtful about ways that you can demonstrate to your staff, to your customers, to your investors, to shareholders that you are adding value. You're proving out that this model is still viable and still works, and then looking for things that you can be adding to the business, both in terms of revenue and ways to make things, increase margin and make things more profitable than they have been in the past to really drive that value going forward.
What can brands do that may have no value at the moment? Adam Pierno, author of the book Specific.
It's Disruptive FM.
Communications.
The Business Culture Podcast.
They say if you listen closely, you can hear the sound of today.
Hey, it's Disruptive FM, the culture of business. I'm Jeffrey Colon. Thank you for being here. How's everybody doing out there? Please reach out to us on social media. The Twitter and Instagram handle is @DisruptiveFM. And connect with me personally on Twitter and Instagram @DJGEOFFE. I would love to hear from you. A huge thanks to our sponsor partners for their support. Microsoft Advertising, Intelligent Connections, reminding you, when you broaden your view on trust, you build loyalty and create business value. Especially in these challenging times, a trusted relationship for the long term is paved with empathy, genuine service, and knowing your brand's purpose in the interconnected world. That's marketing with purpose. Learn more at aka.ms/marketingwithpurpose. And our friends at Branding Strategy Insider, serving over 50,000 senior-level marketers, CMOs, and business decision-makers every day. It's distributed by partners such as The Washington Post, Wall Street Journal, Google News, and Forbes. Branding Strategy Insider, the leading resource of thought leadership in brand strategy and brand management. If you don't know them already, please give them a look at brandingstrategyinsider.com. And thanks to iOgrapher. iOgrapher makes accessories that turn your smartphones into storytelling machines. Everything you need to make your mobile videos look like the pros. All their products are easy to use and budget-friendly. With everyone at home and trying to create content right now, iOgrapher can be your secret weapon. Check them out at iographer.com. In the background, music from Hunbee. It's a track called Drunk Robot, out now on Cherry Cola Records.
Hey nerds! Listen up! Disruptive FM presents the new Hootie Hoo in Turned Up Tech. Hootie Hoo! Geargasm.
Shut up and take my money!
Not a lot of new tech is going to ship to retail right now because, well, no one can sort through it to post for sale. But there is one area that has picked up some momentum. How to build your home studio. Here are 3 items we love at DFM that you can pick up right now in the areas of sight, sound, and light. A streaming webcam to make yourself look good on LinkedIn Live? Well, we at DFM think you should check out Logitech's StreamCam. It captures full 1080p HD video at 60 frames per second and automatically handles all of the details for you. Focus, exposure, framing, image stabilization. You just got to plug it into your USB so you can concentrate on shooting. Also note, your laptop cam, it's probably 0.7 megapixels. Compare that to a phone camera at 12 megapixels shooting in 4K. No wonder most of us look haggard on Zoom chats as of late. Nothing can torpedo an online meeting quicker than audio that's cutting in and out. And your laptop's lousy built-in microphone may be the culprit. A standalone microphone will make you sound clear, rich, and full. The Blue Yeti model has long been a staple of podcasters and streamers. In fact, I'm speaking into one right now. Yes, it looks like something you'd see in a 1940s radio station recording booth, but the audio technology is 100% modern. It has 3 capsule microphones, 4 pickup patterns for different kinds of recording, and just enough controls to help optimize the way you sound without overloading you with super technical features. If you sit in front of a white wall or uncovered windows, your webcam will try to balance it out, shrouding you in a silhouette. The solution: position a light behind your camera that shines on your face. A desk lamp may cut the mustard, but you'll get the best results from an LED video light. We like the basic model from Bauer that comes with 36 LEDs, a clip stand, and 3 light modes. We'll make sure to put links in our show description if you're serious about upping your video work from home game. Make sure to check them out. All right, here are a few more low-key stories that we are following that you might want to take a closer look at. It's another installment of On the Radar.
Here's what's on our radar. Number 1.
Influencers have long wielded their seemingly perfect lives to win the hearts and wallets of their admiring followers. But the power and privilege that once drove success for social media celebrities has suddenly become one of the industry's biggest threats. A handful of influencers have already been burned for their actions amid a global pandemic. Well-intentioned posts have been criticized for flaunting privilege and encouraging dangerous behavior, leaving many to wonder if the age of the influencer has already peaked.
Number 2.
As housebound Americans find themselves with intermittent opportunities to restock grocery supplies, many are turning to a much-maligned culinary staple. While shoppers have long been snubbing processed foods for fresher, healthier options, the coronavirus has rendered many perishable foods an opaque luxury. So Americans are suddenly finding room in the carts for passé treats that inspire comfort and feed a nostalgia for simpler times. Campbell's soup sales are up 59% this year, for instance, and sales for items like Pepperidge Farm Goldfish crackers and Oscar Mayer cold cuts are also rebounding.
Number 3.
The coronavirus pandemic has had a colossal impact on the fortunes of Airbnb. As world travel grinds to a halt, the home-sharing pioneer's model is suddenly in tatters, and it will burn through an estimated $1 billion in the first half of 2020. Airbnb's private market valuation has also perilously plunged, and its prospect for an initial public offering launch this year has evaporated. And that's a wrap for another episode, number 65. Special thanks to Adam Pierno for joining us with his wisdom. Check out Adam's book, Specific, and his own podcast, The Strategy Inside Everything. Next week, Matthew Sweezy joins us to talk about his new book, The Context Marketing Revolution. We look forward to that. As always, thank you for your time and attention. We would love for you to rate, review, and subscribe to the show. We're everywhere. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, and Pandora. Once again, the socials, Twitter and Instagram at disruptivefm. And check out cool content from our sponsors at MicrosoftAdvertising.ai, BrandingStrategyInsider.com, and iographer.com. Until next time, from everyone here at DFM, I'm Jeffrey Colon, reminding you, social distancing is working, but we can't get complacent now. Hang in there and stay home. From our home to yours, be safe, and we'll catch you next week.
You've been listening to Disruptive FM with Microsoft Communications designer Jeffrey Colon. All thoughts are his own. Disruptive FM is produced in Los Angeles by Feeler Media.